Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about the role of editor in economics or specifically health economics. I'll be talking about the things that have been assigned to us, that's what's the role of an editor, the changing role of an editor, then the changing nature of scholarly publication, then collaborative writing, and then finally the impact of digital skills on editing. Now, an editor is anybody who edits. Oxford Dictionary defines that to edit is to prepare for publication by correcting, condensing, or otherwise modifying information. Now, this definition of editing can be accepted, say, it could have been accepted, say, probably 20 or 30 years back when the digital age wasn't in, this much strong form as it is today. Today, an editor could be the author, he could be the reader, he could be the publisher itself. So, and there could be many other roles that an editor can actually take. Take, for example, the role of an editor as a reader. Now, say, for example, you're reading a newspaper or, say, any other magazine article, and while you're reading, you don't find something that's very relevant or something that's legitimate. What do? You have the contact information of, again, the editor of that magazine, or say anybody in general who could be contacted for that magazine or for that newspaper. You write to that person that this is the information which you think is incorrect. And if these people, the people who are taking care of all the comments for these magazines or newspaper articles, they find that your comments are legitimate, they edit that article because of you. You become an editor. So the reader can also be an editor. Similarly, these things can happen, and these things do happen in case of, especially when you go into academics. I'm talking about the journal articles. Now, if you think that there is a comment that's irrelevant, or you think there is a finding which contradicts the finding which you believe should be, you go on and write to those, to the authors or to the editors of those journal articles, and they edit because of you. So even you are the editor then. Now, in economics, these things do happen, that the comments are taken and the editing takes place because of the reader. But the author is also most of the times is the editor in economics, because we mostly do self-editing. It's not something that editing is outsourced or editing is considered beyond writing a paper. The reason for this is because when you're editing, you have certain economic concepts which you need to apply in while editing. So it's not something that anybody can go and edit that article. You need special expertise, you need to be an expert in the subject to edit. So mostly it's the authors themselves who are working as the editors as well. Now, for the changing nature of scholarly publication, if you go to, say, any library in any universities, be it UCC, be it TCD, or anyone, you'll find books which are in this much width, and they're actually in this much width. And these books are not other than your, say, your master thesis or a PhD thesis, and those research things which academicians or researchers have conducted in that university. And it still happens if you are finishing your masters, you need to publish that, sorry, you need to print that thesis, and it takes form. It's generally in this much width. But the thing is, in earlier times, say like 30, 40, or 50 years back, that publication was valid. You used to get it published only in the hard copy form. Now, they do get published in the hard copy form, but they also get published in an online form. That's a soft copy form. And that's something which has become very, very relevant in today's times, because that hard copy, this much thick, has been replaced by probably your maybe like 50 KB Word document, which is so light you just need to click it and you have that thing. Now, indeed, editing has become a lot easier with that option, because if, for example, you wish to edit a particular phrase or a particular word in that thick box, it's very difficult for you to edit. But for this thing, if you have it, an online version of it or a soft copy, it's just that you press Control plus F, you get that, you find that word or that phrase, you edit it. Now, there is a catch to it, or there is a caveat to it for online publication, and I think that's something which is accepted everywhere, irrespective of which field you belong, and that's plagiarism. Because when you're publishing it online, there is bound to be people who would be, who can just copy that material of yours and just publish it as per with their names. It's not something that they can publish it with their names, but indeed they can actually access all the things that you have done and they can use it with your name. And that's why there is the norm that when you're publishing, you should be publishing with journal articles first, and then you should go on to say, if you want to, you can go through the open access. Because if you just put that thing, say, on a Google Scholar or something like that, and it's not published, people can actually just copy your material and publish it with their own names. So it has to be very careful when you're publishing it online, that it first must be published in a journal or at least in any other format in which says that this work belongs to you. Then the thing about collaborative writing and editing, you see, in economics we do go for collaborative writing. We have collaborative writing amongst various researchers or various academicians. So if I find that this person has he matches with my research interest, I would love to co-author a paper with him or her. So, but the point is, collaborative writing in a field like economics, it does not happen. Say you just cannot openly collaborate. It's not like you're writing, say, a book in which you can ask people from their views, and then you can please you can just put those views into that book. It's not like a novel or something, because there are reasons for it, and there are actually only two reasons for it. The first reason is this: it's the authenticity. You see, if anybody actually goes there and comments there that, okay, I believe that this and this should be done, but the point is this: it would require energy, it would require time to actually see whether this person has written right or wrong. So the amount of time that you would be actually putting in to correct that person's mistakes, you can probably spend that much time in writing your own piece of work. The second thing which collaborative writing as an open access thing wouldn't work, and it does not work in economics, and I don't see a very good future of it in economics, because it's also to do with research ideas. You do not openly share any research ideas or your research contributions openly, because if you do that, people would tend to just copy those research ideas or your research contributions with their own names. So that's something which uh, I would be very cautious with when it comes to publishing online or publishing in a collaborative manner in economics. And I think all economists, irrespective of, say, whether they are health economists, development economics, or regional economists, or whatever economics branch they come from, I think anybody or everybody is cautious about all these things. Then the final thing, and I think that's the most important thing, that's the uh, impact of digital skills on editing. You see, the digital era has come up with its benefits, and it has come up with certain things which are, if it has come with the pros, it has also come with the cons. So if you can if you can get everything online like this with just a click, then you also need to be cautious what you're getting. You see, say for example, you take an open access or an open editing website like say Wikipedia. Now, if I wish, and if I, it's not just I wish, if I believe that something is, it's wrong there, it's against the viewpoints which, are against my views or my beliefs or my theories, I'll just go and edit that article in Wikipedia. Who is the boss there? Who is actually taking care of these things? Nobody. It's an open access thing. Anybody can go and edit all these things. So when it comes to open access websites, like for example Wikipedia, it's extremely important that you, even if you want to access that material from there, you must make sure that with that material somebody must have referenced it. Just make sure that reference is proper. I do not appreciate references, say from newspapers or say from blogs or something like that. References must come, say, from proper studies or say from proper journal articles, which are of high quality, not even poor quality. So these are the things which must be taken care of when it comes to, the impact of digital skills on editing. So it must be taken care of. The authenticity must be taken care of. So I'll conclude by saying that indeed, see, editor is no more just a person who only edits. It's the person. Their roles have changed drastically over the period of time, especially with the digital age. And indeed, the nature of scholarly publication from just hard copy publication to soft publication, they have changed. This medium of publication has changed, and again, it has come up with its pros as well as cons. It has positives as well as negatives, which must be taken care of. Both of them must be taken care of. It's not something that you can avoid the negatives and you can just go on to keep the positives. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.